Hey, hello. What's up, Todd? Tito? How are you, Tito? Hey, Tocayo, how you doing? How's everything in sunny California? It, you know what? It's kind of fun. Tito is right in New York, East Coast. Robert is right in LA, West Coast. So we have, and I'm right in the middle, right? In Houston. Thank you guys for joining. Hello, Chandru. Hello, Brett. Hi, Jeff. Aniket. Shoki, what's up, Luke? Hola, Alex. All right, guys. Guys, today I'm exhausted. Exhausted. There's no better word for me right now. I'm exhausted. My trade today. It took so long. It took so long. It's just I'm totally exhausted. But it paid. Being patient paid. So I'm gonna show you what I did today and how patience for taking my right opportunity and also patience for staying on my trade because my chart was telling me to do so instead of just going to see my P&L. That was the secret today. So I'm gonna show you that. Hello, NT88 fast pitch. My God, what is your name, brother? Nathan, I think. No, no, Nathan, Nat, something like that. Fast pitch. I'm gonna call you fast pitch. Okay. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Lilia. Hola, Gaby, Amir, Nadia Taylor, Houstonian. Welcome to the live stream, Nadia. Hey Jeff, I took my trade about as late as I have ever took a trade. Yeah, that was you and me, brother. You and me. All right, guys. So Nadia, she has a really good question. She has a really good question. Question is the overall bias. Is it the most important? I think it's not. I think it's not. I mean, yes, you should have. No, 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 no. Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. I think you should not have a bias. That's my opinion. I mean, I think you should not have a bias based on that we are reacting to price action, right? We are reacting to key levels, we are reacting to support resistance areas. We are professional reactors. Having a bias, what I see about having a bias is that you start taking decisions with something in mind instead of just watching your chart, instead of just looking at your charts, watching price action, watching reactions. You already have a bias, and this is just my opinion. This is just my opinion, but maybe I mean maybe if your style, if your edge requires having a bias, may work. In my in my style, as you can see, even when we are in a bullish market, I don't have a bearish bias. Let me tell you that. I don't have a bearish bias, right? What I do is I take advantage of an edge that I built, I developed of like of reactions to the downside. But it doesn't mean that I'm bearish on the market. I'm not bearish on SPY. I'm not bearish on QQQ. I'm not even bearish on a single name. It's just that my edge works on moves to the downside. that, and that's super different, right? To be bearish. I mean, we play with that. We say like, oh, Neto, Uncle Neto Bear, and we send memes and all that stuff. But I really don't think that the market is bearish, right? So I'm not the perma bear. It's just my edge is built around some specific kind of moves, and that's it. But I mean, having a bias will mean that every bounce on the price chart, I'm trying to manage my position to go out of my trade. Why? Because I have a bias that is going up, and now I'm taking decisions. So maybe the right answer is, if you have a bias, just don't make it take the decisions. I mean, you should be still taking the decisions based on what you see on the chart, based on the reactions on the chart, based on your key levels, on what these candles are doing, and not on a bias, right? So maybe the bias can help you prepare your day, and like when you are preparing your trading plan for the day, if you have a bias, you may have like, okay, well, if price goes to this area, I will be ready to take this. If price rejects this area, I will be ready to watch for that. But I don't think the bias should needs to be in the front row of the decision taking committee, right? I'm not sure if I answered your question, Nadia. Hello, Tasnim. Hola, Carliox. Hello, CL. Declan, I took Nvidia yesterday and Apple today, both losers, but ended up working out after my trading window. Yeah, that's just unfortunately. Okay, thank you, Nadia. Yeah, so like having a bias works if you are preparing your day, but I don't think you should have your bias once the market opens. Tito, don't you think that bias acts as a confluence? I don't. Okay. Nadia, only reason is I took a battleground pivot point trade and it went down today, and the overall bias was bearish. So should I just hang out on the 5-minute chart? The 1 minute is smoking me. It depends. I mean, what is your style, right? What is your style? I work with the 1 minute. I believe me, I have tried working on the 5 minute. Actually, when I started trading, I was trading support and resistance breakouts on the 5-minute chart. And but that didn't work for me. I mean, it worked because that's how I learned, and that, I mean, actually I was profitable my first year with that strategy, but it wasn't it wasn't the perfect fit for my trader personality, for my trader identity. So that's when I moved to the 1 minute chart. So that works for me. Maybe you are different. Hey, Trading for Liberty. Hello, Ayman. TLQQQ call. Okay. Cow. Hello. Ayman. Play by the market. And I'm talking about reacting to the market, right? Cow, as us change the time, Hong Kong now is 2 a.m. Oh my gosh. Thank you for joining, Cow, even this late. Thank you for your comments. Amir, if your levels are close together, do you expect a choppy day? Uh, I never expect anything about the market. So just, I mean, it's for real, guys. I mean, today that's why today was kind of difficult for me, because I wasn't expecting anything, and I was just waiting, right? You will see in a minute. I'm gonna show you my I'm gonna show you my chart, and you will see how long I waited for my move. And then once I enter into a move, how long I waited for actually close it. Um, Tasnim, Neto, I just started watching your videos. Great lessons. Do you only trade SPY? Thank you for joining this community, Tasnim. Yes, I have been only trading SPY and QQQ for the past 3 months. I'm usually trading all the max 7. Well, not that's a lie. Not all the max 7, but the tech names. My favorite ones are AMD and Amazon, but I also trade Nvidia and Tesla. And I'm watching Google, Microsoft, uh, Meta, and I think that's it. Yeah, so I'm watching them, but I started a discipline challenge 3 months ago, and I'm just trading SPY and QQQ to the downside. Uh, I know it might sound funny right now, but once you start watching my videos, you will identify my strategy. We call it the break retest boom. uh, it's a funny story. Ask Tito. Ask Tito. It's called the break retest boom, and it's basically it's a break and retest of support turn into resistance area on the 1 minute chart. All right, on SPYQQQ, and what I do is I trade same day expiration. So that's what I do. I'm gonna show you in a minute. And the other names that we trade, the tech names, we usually trade this Friday expiration, so weeklies, right? Uh, Carla, there's a difference between having a bias and entering your trading session being overly biased. Yeah, absolutely. I was a support and resistance trader as well. Break and retest is so much better. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Because the one reason that I like the most the break and retest is how easy you can plan your risk, right? Every time I enter into a trade, it's my risk, the one thing that I'm watching, and the potential reward it's second on my priorities. But I'm always looking as a priority my risk. So yeah, the break and retest gave me a lot of clarity about this. Okay, A3 Smith, Amen. Hey man, do you sign up the wait list? Do you do one-on-one sessions? On my, I didn't receive your email. Hey man, could you please send me another email? It's Neto at Trading Performance Coach. Yes. What I do it's I do have two different programs. The coaching program, it's a performance coaching program, and that's a one-on-one kind of sessions on weekly sessions, and it's 6 month. It's a 6 month program. And also I have a performance mentoring program. This is more like lessons, and we try to adjust to your particular situation. And it's only 6 sessions, so this is way more affordable, and like uh, it's shorter and easier to schedule, right? So I have two different programs. So if you want more information about that, both of both of these programs are one-on-one. So nothing is pre-recorded, or like templates, or anything. Everything it's one-on-one live. So yeah, if you are interested, please go there. It's about performance coaching. So if you already have an edge, if you already have your strategy that it's working, and you think you just need some adjustment on your mindset, on your habits and your routines to have consistency, just let me know, and probably we might be a good team together. Thank you, Carlux. Carla, she's a member of the men no of the coaching program. Thank you for your words, Carla. All right, guys. So all right, let me go to the charts. All right, so SPY SPY. Uh, when the market closed yesterday, I was actually telling the other moderators of the Scarface community, like, guys, I don't know you, but I feel that this was a lower high. I think this is a lower high, so let's see in the morning. But I would like to see this thing below 680. I said 680. Actually, we got down really nice. But I was like, for me, this was a lower high. So my expectation for next day, not my bias, but my expectation or what I was expecting for the price action to do was okay, well, probably below 680, 51, 680, 50, 681. I would like to see the gap fill and then maybe the other gap hunt, right? Probably not a gap fill, but I mean not this second gap, but yeah, this is gonna push lower. So we woke up, and the first thing that I was watching on my phone was this really nice candle in the middle of these gaps. So my idea, my trading plan, not my bias, but what I will be watching for the day is all right. So if by any chance SPY wants to come for the liquidity left behind on this gap, well, it's gonna bounce hard, right? It needs to go. It needs to go a few dollars, like 0.5%. That you know what that's kind of funny because I was talking yesterday with another trader, and he was like, "Oh no, but it was a $2 drop on SPY," and I was like, "Well, that's like 1/3 of like 0.3%, right? Like it's nothing, right? Like now a $2 drop, it's nothing. 2.5 dollars drop, it's 33% of 1%. So it's nothing, 0.33%. So it's nothing, guys, it's nothing. So I was like, okay, well, if SPY wants to go for this gap first, if SPY wants to go for this gap first, well, I need to be patient. I need to be patient, and I need some sort of reaction with some confluence or like strong price action to the downside, and see that once this gap is filled, it's gonna come for the other, and that's exactly what I tried to do. All right, so we opened this morning. A lot of people was asking me on the Discord, like, "Hey Neto, are you taking this?" Guys, that was 9:37. 9:37. I'm always waiting like 15 minutes for my first trade. At least first 15 minutes for my first trade. And I was like, I mean, I don't think so. Look at the price action the last hour. It has been trying to push up, to push up, to push higher. So I don't think this is something you can rely on. And then we had these two candles, and that discussion ended. All right. And then what was happening here? Well, first, I think this was a really nice opportunity here. This was the break and retest of the 5-minute opening range, the 5-minute opening range, and you should be looking at least a touch of the gap fill of the gap. I'm sorry, of the gap. So if you look at this move alone, even if you bought like right here above this candle body, it was a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio trade, and you actually had like way more, right? Like this trade easily could be handled like to this point, something like that. It was at least it was a 1 to 4 risk reward ratio trade. So I just think this move was really nice, really nice. What was happening here? Well, a lot of people was afraid because they said, "Oh, okay. I mean, we gap down. We are between two daily gaps. So how is this that I'm taking longs right here?" Well, it's the intraday price action right here. Look at this nice reaction here around 675, around 675, and then the break and retest of the opening price and the 5 minute opening range. So I really like this. I really like this move. I really like this move. And actually, this move was the trigger for a lot of moves on the tech names you're gonna see. And then we have this move continuation. This is the break and retest of, well, the pre-market high. Well, let me tell you, I wasn't trusting too much the pre-market high. Why? Because of this. I was watching my Weeble and this candle is real. I mean, this candle is real. It's just like, I don't know, like it looks so much like a phantom candle. And I was like, well, I don't know. But well, you had really nice reaction here, right? So you had the break and retest of the pre-market high. So if you were looking for something like this, you had the gap fill, and also you had a tag of the previous day low. And this alone was a 1 to 2.5 risk reward ratio trade. I think that was a really decent trade. Even when this was not like with a lot of continuation, I think this was a really nice trade. And then what happened here? After we were grinding up, I was like, okay, well, nothing happens until we actually break and reclaim previous day low. If we react on previous day low, this is gonna be my day. This is gonna be my day again. And that's exactly what happened, guys. I mean, that was high of the day, previous day low. And this is a really, really, really nice test of the previous day low. As you can see here, it's right to the T. Right to the T. So you got this tag here on previous day low, and look at this nice reaction to the downside. I was super ready for taking puts right here. Why? Because I said like, okay, well, we already filled the gap twice. So what is gonna happen here? Well, I would like to see a reaction probably to this. I was watching something like this. I was waiting for something like this, like okay, well, like a tag of this pivot low, but this never got right. But what we had here was a good reaction on the pre-market high, and then a rejection out of the gap, and this is what I like. Even I know for some people on the Discord, they say like, "Oh, Neto, but this was too aggressive. Look at this candle here." And I was like, "Well, I mean, it's yes, but look at all these candles, right?" So yes, I know this is a really nice reaction right here at 678, 678. Look, nice reaction right here, 678. But what is this telling you? This is telling you, well, first, this is a lower high, right? This is a lower high. Also, this is a lower high below this battleground. Below this battleground. And as you can see here, we have too many touches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 20 touches here. 20 touches here. So just the sign that this lower high is below this battleground zone or this battleground, this was just telling me a lot of things, right? So retest of this battleground here, going below of this gap on the daily chart, rejecting this pre-market high, I was like, okay, well, this is my chance. I'm gonna take my chances right here, and I enter right here. It's 11:03. I know this is kind of late for me, but I mean, I have, since a few months I have moved my trading window. For the tech names, I usually close my trading window at 10:45. But now that I'm trading the indices, SPY and QQQ, I'm moving my trading window all the way to 11:30. So this one here, this one here, I opened my position right here, 11:03, and I'm not gonna lie, I was not scared, but I was super frustrated. All these rejections on 678, all these rejections and bounces on 678. So 678 was a huge level to break, a huge level to break. And as you can see here, 678. And as you can see here, it was support, turned into resistance, turned into support again. Then we had all these candles here. But my idea was, okay, well, we are below the pre-market high, below this area here, below the gap fill. So let's wait. So I waited patiently here. And when I'm saying patiently, these candles here, they went all the way to 20% negative on my trade. I already took some here, right? This is my pivot, yeah, like my local low or my pivot low. So I already took some profits here, and right here it was like 25%, or I mean it was a very decent trim, but I only took like 1/4 of my position here. I mean, like here. I don't remember if it was on these candles or on this candle, but here it was my first streams. Then I had these candles here, and I took more around these candles here. I took like 20, like 1/4 more here, and finally we had this break. I took most of my position, I think, on this candle, and I took my last contracts when we broke the 5-minute opening range high, and we tagged this opening price. And that was my trade. It was a very suffer trade, but I hit 107% on this trade. And guys, patience paid today. Not only for taking my setup here, look at this, 11 in the morning, 90 minutes after market open. I was 90 minutes watching candle by candle by candle, doing nothing for my setup. So finally I entered. I waited patiently for this to form. And then once I was on my trade, I waited a lot. And there's a lot of people that will say like, oh, well, Neto, probably I will be stopped out right here. And guys, I mean, I don't judge you. These candles were very painful to watch, because again, it was using this 678 as the bounce area. But the volume here, I'm not showing you the volume on this chart, but I was watching the volume on my Webull, chart, and these candles here were not having this punch of, like a breakout. So I was like, okay, well, I'm holding. I was red on the day here because I only took 1/4 of my position around here. It was like 25% or 30%. But here I was like 20% negative on 3/4 of my position, right? So I was a small red here. And that's why I said like, okay, well, I mean, that's what I decided to risk, right? That's what I decided to risk. So I'm good if we break this pre-market high. I'm good with it. In my eyes, this was a good trade. But then rejection, strong rejection, nice rejection, a lot of candles here, came back. This 678 was a super strong area, and finally we had this breakout, and I made a good return of my trades. And now, guys, it's your turn. Tell me what you tried here on SPY today. Tell me. Let me go to your questions. Eileen, Guys, I'm super proud of Eileen. Eileen is she's a member of the Traders Lab, the Scarface community, and she has been having so much progress on her discipline, on her habits, on her routines. I'm super proud of you, Eileen. I'm sure that you are working hard for this, and the results are coming. Trust me. During the trade today, your session yesterday was foremost on my mind. I tried to recalibrate the expectations and apply the plateau protocol. You rock, thank you. Still a losing day, but I was more aware of my emotions. I will keep doing the work. Congratulations, Eileen. That's a win on my books. The performance and the execution there, it's a win. Tito, you took that trade. Which one? The trade was an attempt to fill the daily gap to the upside. This one here, the first one, Tito? How did your contracts move due to Theta on the late trade? Oh, it was awful. Every candle, even a few cents, it was moving like 5%, 10%, 20%. Right here, it was moving a lot faster than when I take a trade around, like 10 in the morning. The first one, yeah, that was a very nice break and retest of the 5 minute opening range high. Congratulations on this trade, Tito. Um, Neto, for the levels indicator you got, is it monthly membership or you paid once and get them? No, it's a monthly subscription. It's really affordable, guys. And for real, it saves you a ton of time and thinking on the intraday. If you are just like me, that you are look at this. I mean, how many levels I didn't need to draw right here? The previous day low, the previous week low, the pre-market high, the 5 minute opening range high and low. and the, and also something that I like a lot is this dash box. This is the difference between the previous day close and today's open. So yeah, you don't need to draw them all or take them down at the end of your session and do it again every day, right? So that's what I like it a lot, and I think it's like $10 a month or something like that. So if you want this tool, and also it's a combo. It has a lot more things. Right now you are just watching my key levels, but it has an A plus setup checklist, and it has a relative strength, a relative weakness box. It has a lot of things, and it's only like $10 a month. So if you are interested on having this tool, on the video description and also in the channel description, there's a link for it. You can go there, try it for a month. Again, I think it's like $10. It only works on TradingView. I know there's a lot of people using IBKR or Thinkorswim or other brokers, but this only works for TradingView. But it's awesome, and also it was the developer. It's one member of the community, so it's really having our style of trading in mind when it was developed. Um, to Barbara, why did you move it your trading time? Are your stats better if you trade until 11? Yes, Barbara. I find out that some of my setups were happening a little bit later than my usual trading window. So I extended my trading window instead of all the way to 10:45, I move it all the way to 11:30. So if I don't open a position at 11:30, I close my broker and that's it for the day. But if I take a trade, I mean, I can stay a lot on my trade. I can stay all the time needed on my trade, but I don't like to open positions after 11:30. And one of the main reasons, it's just what Tito mentioned in his comment. How did your contracts move due to Theta on that late trade? And and that's the thing. I don't like how fast it moves after 11:30. So that's why I decided, like, just okay, 9:30, 11:30, 2 hours, and that's it. And today was a special. I mean, today was a special. I don't usually take trades this late, but anyway, I mean, that's why I move it. Um, Neto, did you move your stop loss to break even after the first 25% drop? Yes, I did. Yeah, yes, I did. Actually, I closed my contracts around here and I re-entered on, I don't remember. I don't think it was on this one. I think it was on this candle here. I re-entered here. But yes, I did that. That was a really nice catch, the end. Um, Neto, so your final profit target was the top of the 5 minute opening range? Yeah, no. Actually, uh, oh yeah, you're right. This was my final target. Like like that was my very 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 final target. I was actually looking for something like 677, something like this. It was almost a 1 to 5 residual rate to trade. But when I re-enter on these candles here, I was all green. I was all green. So I decided to, like, to stay longer, 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 longer. And look at this price action. I mean, you didn't have anything until this bounce here. So that's why I moved my target all the way to here. All the way to here. And I was reacting and I was super in profit right here. So I was not like looking to, to click on the tag of the key level. I was waiting for the reaction. So for example, right here, I closed some of my contracts on this opening price, and then I closed my trade on this candle here when it started to come back. Why? Because for me, this was the real, 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 real last target. But as you can see, I mean, if you guys are watching right now SPY, it's really, really inside. Oh well, you have it here. It's it's going for the gap. It's a huge gap. I don't think it's gonna fill it today. But well, you already have your move for tomorrow, right? It's a Today was just a slice of the cake, and I like it. Um, okay. Robert, you took SPY put when 1049 closed. 1049. Ah, nice one. That was a breakout, Tokayo. Is Mina's indicator the same as the Scarface indicator? Yes, it is. It is. Jeff, in my second month using it, really helped. Yeah, it's really useful. It saves a lot of time. Kumar, hey Nero, I'm really struggling to decide what levels I should take the profits at. Well, I use my 15-minute chart for my key levels because I'm trading on the 1 minute chart, right? So that's the context that I like. Like, but if you are if you are a swing trader, I mean, maybe you are not using the 15-minute chart, right? You should be using at least the 4 hour chart or the daily chart. So I think, Kumar, what you should do is, like, start start trusting your key levels, but I mean, testing them, right? So you can be testing them and see how well price reacts to your analysis. And I mean, that's the only way that you will have confidence on your levels. You're very welcome, Barbara. Declan, I think I may increase my window by 30 minutes at least for any 84% rule. Okay. Yeah, and you don't need to risk real money, at least at the very beginning decline. I mean, if you want to, you can forward test like paper trade. Paper trade, I don't know, like 1 or 2 months. Uh, every trade that you watch after 11 in the morning and see how it works. And once you have some data to take your decisions based on them, well, you go for it. Dian, 1252 puts. 1252 puts. Mm, I like it. I mean, the only thing here, Dian, it's that this was a lower, I'm sorry, a higher low. Do you see here? I really like that you waited for this to fail to create a new high, or a higher high here. So yeah, that was a good one. And you're still in that trade? The trend line was respected and I was targeting preview local lows. Like this one here, the start of the gap. Good eye there. Good eye. Good eye. Do you pay attention to the 5 minute chart when trading? Yes, I do. I'm always doing like this. You know what? The 5 minute chart sometimes I don't, but this is what I do all the time. This is my 15 minute chart. This is my 1 minute chart. So I manage my entries on the 1 minute chart and I plan my exits on the 15 minute chart. So this is what I do all the time. This is the one. Oh, okay. The yeah, it should have like more stuff because it has tools for futures and some other stuff, right? Kumar, I enter 950 candle and 950 950 here, and you exit at 952. Why? I'm just confused to what point I need to hold. Okay. You take profits based on the 50 minutes. Okay. Good job there, Dion. CL, hi Neto, I'm kind of FOMO and risky to take QQQ calls 940. Okay, let's go to QQQ. Guys, do you have any other question about SPY today? Why we decided that this was a really good entry? Why we decided this was a really good entry? And I don't know if this was the best entry here, but that was my trade, and it ended like really nice here. But do you guys have any question about SPY? Okay, let's move to QQQ. Okay, so same thing here with QQQ. It was a really nice break, retest of the 1 minute and the 5 minute opening range break. And here you should be looking, look at this, external liquidities. These blue lines, for you guys that you started joining the community, these blue lines are my key levels on the daily chart. So this is external liquidity. And the white lines are my key levels on the 15-minute chart. All right. So this could be a really, really nice trade. And this was the very same trade than SPY, right? This 948, 948. Yeah, exactly. So this was super clear for everyone here. And okay, this is the trade that you said, right? CL. Would I take it? Yes, I will take it. Yeah. How much I will let it run? Well, it depends. I mean, I will start saying like, okay, well, first I well, and this is specific for me, CL. This is specific for me. When I'm taking calls, and it has been a while since my last call, but when I'm taking calls, I have something very specific. When I enter my trade, I like to be at least 1 to 1.5 too high of the day. Here, you don't have that. but you have pre-market high like really close, and all the way to pre-market high was a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio trade. How much should I be letting it run? Once I once we reach the 1 to 2 risk reward ratio trade, I start taking like heavily uh from my position. Like for example, here I will take like at least 1/3 of my position, and then the next key level I will be watching closely how it reacts about around these key levels to take maybe another 40% or something. And right here, I mean, right here you are like 1 to 5, right? Yeah, almost 1 to 5. So here probably I'm 90% out of my trade, and I'm just letting 10% run for whatever it wants to take. But I'm always taking some at high of the day or low of the day, and then taking majority of my position on the next key level on the 15-minute chart. And then once I'm in profit, I like to let it run like all the way to break even or to my next key levels, right? I start taking like if I still have like I don't know like 15 contracts, okay, well, next key level I'm gonna take three more contracts. Next key level, or on the break of this key level, I'm gonna take 3 more contracts, and that's how I play this. Yes, Tito, my blue lines, they are highs and lows on the daily chart, and the white lines are key levels on the 15-minute chart. Amir, what is the difference between external liquidity and internal liquidity? That's a whole class, brother. That's a whole class. But what I can tell you is that external liquidity, I take a look to liquidity on the and consider it as external liquidity, the highs and lows on the daily chart. Why? Because there's a lot of pending orders on the edges of on the top of the bottom of these candles, and the internal liquidity are like the like like for example this consolidation area, there's liquidity here. Why? Because I don't know, like there, okay, well there's a lot of activity right here, so this is the internal liquidity. This is where the orders are transactioning, right? So everything between these pivot highs and these pivot lows probably is just like noise. It's just trying to get from one liquidity level to the other. Okay, but I think we need a class about liquidity. That if you guys are in the Scarface community, the lesson about liquidity on the accelerator video, it's the one that changed my trading style. So that important it is for me. Mm, no, I don't, Tito. I draw my key levels on the 15-minute chart, and I don't move it to fit the 1-minute chart. I actually wait for the 1-minute chart to actually hit my 15-minute chart key levels. Okay. Someone mentioned QQQ trade CL 949. Okay, we already talked about that. Okay, well that was all for QQQ. Uh, so this is very much the same trade that I took, but on QQQ, right? This is 1102, 1102 on SPY. Yeah, actually it looks like nicer on QQQ, right? But well, it was the exact same thing. I was actually looking for some sort of retest of this area here. It didn't get the retest, but it stayed below this battleground. It stayed below this pre-market high, and we still have all this gap to fill. So I really like this entry here on the break and retest of the pre-market high. And maybe I'm just saying maybe this area here was kind of, like the better to take an entry. The better to take an entry just because this was the local highs, right? Or the pivot highs on the pre-market. So even if you take it like something like this, it actually worked, right? I mean, it actually worked, and your only job was watching that the reaction on this area here. So just this was your key levels. Any questions on the QQQ? Neto, that is like the reverse version of the pre-market high retest method. Yeah, it is. It is. It's just take take the name out of it. I mean, don't call it pre-market high, and look what was happening here. What was happening here? Liquidity here. Liquidity here. And then something that I like, guys, it's start playing with these boxes. And then you have a lot of confluences here. You start identifying that nothing is random on the chart. Can you see? It went from one liquidity area to the next one, to the next one. It came back to this liquidity area, and what happened? It came back to this one here. It came back to the same liquidity area. It was support, then turned into resistance. Support, then turned into resistance, and then the drop. Where? To this liquidity area. So guys, please take a look. If you are on the Scarface community, please take a look to the liquidity video on the accelerator. Okay. Jeff, I took cues based on the triple top and the trend from 1012 to 1033. Triple top here, and what was the trend? What was your entry? 1050. 1050 here. Okay. It was a breakout trade. That was a good one, Jeff. Congratulations there. That was not a break and retest, brother. Liquidity is a pivot point? Yeah, usually. Depending on the time frame. Depending on the time frame. But yes, usually they are pivot points. Okay, let's go to AMD. I think people in the community took this trade here. There's nothing too much super clear here, but if you were following this, you had several confluences here. So you had the reclaim of this previous week low, and then the breakout. Then you break this 252.31, that's a key level on the daily chart. You had displacement, and what happened here? Retest of your daily chart key level. And then you had this strong impulsive candle to the upside. And right here, it's when it gets tricky, and or it depends of what you are trying here, right? I would like to open this position right here above this body candle, right? Above this body candle. And what I will be watching here, it's my first target will be this previous day low. And look at this previous day low, it's a 1-to-2 risk reward ratio trade. So I really like it. But that will not be my final target here. My final target here will be maybe this pre-market high. Take a look to this pre-market high. What happened? Okay, well, not too much of a liquidity here, but it was nice. It was nice. And probably I will be cutting my trade on these candles here. But this was a really nice, almost 1 to 6 risk reward rated trade. That was the same trade that Tony took. What do you know, guys? What they no? He took Tesla and Apple, and Jack Tesla and Apple. Sure. Okay, so no AMD today. Okay, well that was a really nice trade. Anyone took an AMD trade today? I know you guys are not taking AMD to the upside. You just like AMD to the downside, like me, right? Okay, so what happened today with Amazon? Amazon, it's all-time highs. Amazon all-time highs or very close to all-time highs, but it's consolidating on this area here, right? It's not doing too much right now. It's not doing too much right now. I think it's gonna consolidate for a few days before the next leg. But anyways, so we had different things today. We had different things today. I really like this reclaim of this gap, but it didn't offer any opportunity here, to take a trade to the upside. However, can you see here how once it hit the high of the day, it never could make a new higher high, right? It failed to create a new high, yes, and now I'm just following the relevant key areas here, or the order blocks. I'm chasing the order blocks here, maybe this one here. Well, I don't need to mark this one because it's right here on the previous day low, but this is something that I really like. So this break and retest of this order block here, super close to previous day low. I will be opening my position right here at previous day low, and I will be aiming at least this key level. This is external liquidity 250.50. That's previous week high. This actually went way lower, all the way to the 5-minute opening range low, but this will be my target here. And look at this was a 1 to 3.4 risk reward rated trade. This also took like forever to actually develop. It took, yeah, like an hour and a half. Yeah, like an hour and a half. So today, guys, it was all about patience. All about patience. Dian, Neto, could you explain why using the bodies on the 15-minute chart for levels is better than the wicks? I don't know if it's better. I sometimes I sometimes do it. What I do is I try to identify if there is more activity on the top of the body or on the top of the candle wick. But I can't say that the body it's better than the wick. AMD has earnings this week. Okay, IB is crazy. Okay, Nvidia, guys. Nvidia, it didn't offer like a good opportunity to enter to the upside. Why? Because this break and retest of this 20207, it's inside of the 5-minute opening range, right? It's inside of the 1 minute, the 5-minute opening range. That's what I didn't like it too much. But I mean, guys, if you are super bullish on Nvidia, you should be taking anything to the upside, right? But anyways, so I was watching different things. For example, here, this area here, as you can see, it's support turning to resistance, support. So this area here, 202.85, was super relevant on the pre-market. That's very close to what we opened. That was the rejection of the first candles here. Then we have this order block right here on this same key level. So when we fail to create new highs, when we fail to create new highs and we started going down here, this retest on this area here, can you see? This is super important, guys. I have been highlighting these pre-market levels for the past days because I know some of you sometimes you don't even have like your extended trading hours on, and you just trade with the regular trading hours. I really like to see what's going on in the pre-market. Again, I'm not taking decisions based on this, but once I start watching areas of interest, well, I pay attention to these areas, right? So for example, this was a really nice break and retest and rejection of this area that had rejection at the open, rejection at the first candles. It was support turned into resistance during the pre-market. So I really like this drop here. And what I was waiting here, well, maybe just a tag of the low of the day. And look at this, that this actually had it several times, right? And then this second entry here was just like this area here, this consolidation area, 202.50 break and retest, lower high, expecting a lower low here, actually got it. So that was the Nvidia trade for me. uh Justin, you took Nvidia today. 202 is a higher time frame key level. I mark out after we reclaim and retested. I enter 944 and 944, 944 here. Okay, 202. This key level here on the higher time frame. Yeah, this is a key level on the daily chart. This is a key level on the daily chart. Yeah, so we have the same thing. And you exited 10:05. Good. That was a really nice trade, Justin. Congratulations there. Tasnim, patience is my downfall. Yeah, you need. Yeah, and brother, there's no secret sauce for patience. I mean that's a muscle that you need to exercise. What about the 958 candle on Nvidia? Was that a good setup for the upside? 958, 958 here. Um, Probably yes, if you were watching something like this, right? Something like this. Yeah, something like this. So as you can see, it's support turned into resistance, 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 resistance. That was the only thing here, Aniket. That was the only thing here that I mean, after watching how this level was working as a resistance, you needed, well, actually you got it here. I think this was a good trade. I think that will be a good trade, and maybe 204.50 or something like that. It just didn't work. But yes, I think you are right. That was a nice opportunity here. That was a nice opportunity here. Because it's it's the break and retest of this area, this very visited area here on the pre-market. And also it's a 203.50, right? Like the break and retest of this 203.50. I think that's a really nice key level to have. It just didn't work. It just didn't work, and that's when the context, it's very useful here, right? Right here, 10 in the morning, right here, 10 in the morning, what was happening on the indices? 10 in the morning, what was happening with the indices? Well, they were at the high of the day. I mean, I don't know why Nvidia just exhausted this move. Yeah, but actually in context, yeah, this was a nice trade. I totally miss it. I totally miss it. Alex, 958 in Nvidia. At this same trade. It's this same trade. I was over analyzing as to what was I doing wrong. Made it back and more with cues. Thank you. You're very welcome. Yeah, no, I think you didn't do anything wrong here. But guys, can you see the context here? This area here was important, and also the context with the indices is both SPY and QQQ. Look at this. Actually, QQQ was actually going higher right here. The thing is that QQQ just had its first top right here, 626.69, and that's when everything, you know, like deflated, right? Last but not least important, Tesla. What's going on with Tesla? This was the only move that I like. All right. This is the break and retest of the 5-minute opening range. 5-minute opening range. You had this retesting here. This second candle was actually going higher than this. I will be opening my position on this candle here, 959. Above this candle here, my first target will be not high of the day, but yeah, maybe this reaction here, when it hits 1 to 1.5, I will take my first trims, and then I will be trying to get into the next key levels, right? And look at this. This is the pre-market high. This is the pre-market high, and it gave you 1 to 2.8 risk reward rated trade. The only thing is that you needed to manage to hold for this one here, right? But as you can see, it never closed below the stop loss here. This will be my stop loss here, the bottom of this retesting candle. So if you didn't close your position here, you actually got a nice push higher. Anyone took Tesla today? Anyone took Tesla today? No? All right, guys. So that was all for today. I'm sorry I'm not watching more names today, but as I told you, I was. Oh, congratulations, Natalie. Congratulations, Amir. Did you? Let me go back. Did you manage to stay on this position? Did you take this trade or you took something different? Because as you can see here, you have another break retest boom. You had another nice break retest boom. 451. Look at this. Oof, actually, this one was super nice. Brett, but you sold before 10 a.m. Okay. Natalie, I took that trade and almost sold my runner when it moved back down, like here. Glad that you hold. Glad that you hold. So I was telling you guys, I'm sorry, but today was this trade was super exhausting, and I didn't prepare more stuff for you. I didn't have the time to prepare more names for you, and I'm I'm really tired. I'm mentally tired because of this thing. So thank you very much for joining. I already told you about the coaching and the mentoring programs. If you want to take a look to it, just send me an email, neto@tradingperformancecoach.com, or just go to the website and there's a contact form that you can use there. I will be gladly personally reply to you. And what else, guys? Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We are now like 1,035 people, I think. Thank you very much for everyone that has been joining recently. And thank you very much because I know a lot of you share this channel with with your fellow traders friends. So thank you guys. This channel is just because of you, because you ask a lot of very interesting questions, because you share your trades, because you share your ideas, and just like we talked today, I really like the conversation today about the bias, and also what else we were saying about the key levels, the daily chart and the 15-minute chart key levels. What else? Liquidity. Guys, if you are on the Scarface community, please tag me on the questions channel and I'm gonna share the liquidity. I think it's module 4, video 4, something like that. But if you can find it, just let me know and I will send it to you on the Discord. It's a really nice video. Once you understand liquidity, trading gets way simpler for everyone. So, team, thank you very much for everything, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.